Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about Wing Chun striking methods for your training. So traditionally, we have many different ways to strike in Wing Chun, such as your palm, the blade of your hand, your biu-ji, which is technically a finger jab, and of course your punch, right? Now we're going to school it out today. Now we're not going to talk about the elbows or the knees or the other striking methods. Specifically today, we're going to talk about your fist, right? Now, there are many different ways to punch depending on the system that you train. Some people prefer to use the top two knuckles. Some people prefer to use the bottom knuckle. Some people prefer to use the middle knuckle, right? What Wing Chun do is, what we train is using the bottom three knuckles. And you'll notice that when we punch, we don't hyperextend the arm like that, right? Now, of course, if you do boxing or Muay Thai, your striking should be straight like that. That's because that's a longer range of punch. Wing Chun tend to punch in the mid-range to a close range. If you notice the hand, right? If my guard is up like that, if I extend my hand halfway through, the hand should go like this, right? Because in a short range, I can't just flare my elbow and punch flat like that. So what people do in Wing Chun is we strike with the body together. You notice my hip and elbow is going to travel simultaneously. So that way when I strike, I'm making contact with the lower three knuckles, and those three knuckles are going to be aligned together to my elbow. The second thing we notice is that the wrist. My wrist doesn't do this. I don't punch like that, right? If I do punch like this in short range, I might injure my wrist. So I want to make sure my wrist is stronger. I want to make sure my wrist is flatter and then connect to the bottom through my knuckle. And all this together goes into my elbow, just like that, okay? So please be sure that when you punch, don't go this way. Instead, I'm going to let my elbow travel through just like that when I strike, okay? So two ways we're going to talk about this, okay? Single punch, we can talk about instead of combination, right? So if I would start practicing single punch, what you can do with your partner is you can have your partner put one hand like this, okay? If your partner is not strong, sometimes you can put double hand like that, okay? So first what we need to do is recognize your striking range, right? And you'll see a lot of people do this. When they want to strike, they try to reach like that, right? Never reach your punch, just in case that if he does move backwards and as I strike, I'm going to lose my balance. So the first thing we're gonna do is talk about the range of motion. My lead hand determines the range, right? This is gonna ensure that he is inside my striking range. But if my lead hand is not able to touch him, that means he's outside my punching range. Okay, that way I have to use my kick. So my hand's gonna touch. For training purpose, I'm gonna angle this out just a little bit. My lead hand's gonna touch. And as I step forward, I don't let my body come in like this. I'm going to drive my rear hip forward just like that. It's almost like you're trying to drag your hip with you, right? We call it shuffling method. So I'm going to shuffle my body forward. At the same time, this hand right here, you'll notice how my hand's not holding a fist. I'm going to stay as relaxed as I can. The moment that I'm going to come in, I'm going to squeeze my hand the last second, right before I make the impact, okay? So please do not squeeze your hand and then hit as hard as you can. Don't do this, right? Because the more I stiffen my muscle, the slower I'll punch. The first thing I need to do is I make contact with the hand like this. The second thing I do is relax my hand. Almost imagine trying to hit a baseball bat like that, right? So my hip goes through, I'm gonna let my elbow travel together as my hip goes forward. At the same time, when I make the impact, I'm gonna squeeze my hand just like that, okay? You notice I'm making impact with the bottom three knuckle. So one more time, I touch, and I strike. And I return back to the same position, and I come back. The hand don't draw back. Sometimes you'll see this when you practice, people kind of draw the hand backwards before they strike, right? Any type of this motion is going to telegraph your body. So instead, I'm going to touch, elbows through, strike back. See? The hand goes forward, and I strike. This hand's going to chamber back towards my forearm, and then I return back. Come back. Come back. Come back. Every single time when I go forward, I'm going to breathe out from the lower part of my diaphragm. Okay, I'm going to squeeze and breathe out simultaneously. So again, strike, come back, and come back. So that's method one. Method two, I'm going to frame high, hit low. The first time we did was we frame high, right? We make a frame with a high hand like that. Imagine this is the head. I'm going to grab either on the hair or frame against his head, and as I strike, I'm going to let it go, and then I come back. That's method one. Method two is I'm going to frame high, but I'm going to hit low. So you can have your partner using the focus man for the lower body attack. This can hit to the ribs, solar plexus, bladder, kidney, whatever you want. But this is a body shot. So I'm going to frame against a higher body. This is going to be framing to the head. As I step, same thing. This hand's gonna hit low, just like that. You notice my body's not driving. At the same time, and I hit, just like that. Again, I frame high. As I frame high, boom, body hits through, 1, and now come back. Okay, so again, 1, and come back. 2, come back. You notice I drive forward, my body's not coming at the same time as I hit, right? Now, of course, once you hit, you can trap again, you can hit. So the first time is I hit, boom, and you can trap, re-trap, and you hit. But since we're talking about only single motions for now, I'm gonna frame high, hit low, and come back, okay? Your partner can go just a little higher like that too, just make sure the elbow's not blocking your way. So I'm gonna frame high, hit low. Frame high, hit low, just like that. As I step forward, bam, my body comes through, and I hit. You notice when I hit, I'm gonna hit through. I don't chamfer the hand and come back this way. I'm gonna hit, touch, stay right here. Because then I can follow through my uppercuts, or with straight shots, or takedowns. Many options I can go from there. But the most important part is I make a frame, I hit, and I'll come back, okay? So that's 2 methods of training. So let's recap. Number 1 is I touch, I frame high, I hit high. Number 2 is I frame high, make a frame on higher head, and strike low, okay? Now, once we get those 2, we're gonna talk about the combinations, right? In Wing Chun, the most famous punch that we talk about a lot of time is called battle punch. Some people call it chain punch. Some people call it Lim Wan Choi, right? The hand is gonna travel through on the center line like that. You notice my hand doesn't do this. It's not a looping motion, but rather it's gonna be a straight shot, straight shot, straight shot like that. We use this as a finisher. Do not use this as an initiator. Okay, you don't initiate with a battle punch because the guy's gonna counter you. I only make the battle punch with the chain punch after I have already struck the guy down. So let's say he goes to the first method. I touch a hand, I hit high. The first shot scores, then I do my battle punch. But I don't do this battle punch right away. I touch first, then you battle punch. The hand touches when you strike. That's your first shot. You make the contact to the head to break them down. Once you broke them down, then you follow through your battle punch, just like that. You notice my battle punch doesn't chamber back all the way to the chest, but rather once I strike, it goes right here. See my hand? Just like that. So my hand's gonna travel right through the center line, just like a machine gun. Imagine getting hit to the head, right? So that's the type of effect I'm looking at. You can hit high, or if he does a second method, you go boom right here. He's gonna engage him back high, then punch back to the head. These punches can aim for the head, can aim for the solar plexus. If he's down to the ground, then of course you can also strike low. You don't punch this way, because you're gonna lose all your power, okay? So again, method 1 is I touch high, I strike, then I battle punch, right? Method 2 is I strike low to the body, then I battle punch high. So we're gonna do the same thing last time, but I'm gonna switch angle. Number 1, touch, notice my shoulder cover the line. Don't square your body, I touch, because this is gonna make it a frame. So I wanna make sure when he pushed me, I'm strong like this. But if my body is square, he pushed me, I'm gonna lose all my balance. So frame high, step, strike 1. Then from here, battle punch. Number 2 is I frame high to the neck. I strike low to the body, he moves the pad up, then I strike high. So these are the 2 training methods you can train for Wing Chun punch in your drills. And of course, there's a lot more variation that you can explore. But for today, we're only gonna talk about single punch, high, follow through your battle punch, or a single strike low to the body, then you follow through your battle punch, okay? Like I said, if you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the comment below. I'll see you guys next week.